Today I'm going to talk about the time I got stuck hanging from a chairlift. It was quite terrifying, quite funny, but I was actually really scared. There was a snowboard event going on at Big Bear Mountain, and a friend of mine was going to this event and he was flying in, and I had no intentions to go to this event, but he called me. He's like, hey, do you want to come with me, whatever. So I was like, yeah, sure, fine. So we drive up there. It was a private session for a bunch of up and coming kids and pro snowboarders that basically have this part of the mountain closed off to themselves. And the whole entire goal is to build big jumps and build creative features and then go get photos and videos on them. So we show up. Like I said, I don't even think I was invited, but I showed up anyway and weaseled my way on the lift, however it ends up working out. And then as soon as we're riding up the chairlift, I see that somebody built this jump, one of the park builders built this quarter pipe literally right next to the chairlift. And as we were riding up the chairlift, I immediately saw, oh, you could either jump off the chairlift into this jump, or what if you jumped off this quarter pipe onto the chairlift?
Now what?
And everything else, there was fun jumps and features, but nothing really caught my attention that was that interesting. So this was like all of a sudden my goal. Okay, how can I make something fun like this work? The goal was to jump off this quarter pipe and then land sitting on the chairlift and then just ride up the chairlift. I tried it, I tested it a few times, and it didn't really match up. The chairlift is moving up the hill, and you have to start, maybe 100, 200 feet up the hill in the opposite direction, and you gotta be trying to time that as it's passing this jump. So there's a lot of timing involved in this, and so it took me a couple tries. I tested it a few times, completely missed the chairlift, and then finally this one time, I told this filmer, hey, I'm gonna try it, make sure you're filming. And I went full speed. I'm like, no matter what, I don't care how I get onto this chairlift, because I had a couple missed tries where it just wasn't working. But that chairlift's pretty long. I didn't feel like hiking it. So this time I'm like, no matter what, I don't care if I land on it. I don't care if I land on it upside down. I am going to hold on or get on this chairlift no matter what. And so two of my friends, I think they're both named Alex. That's crazy. Yeah. And your name is Alex. So 3 Alexes at play here. I see them coming up the chair, and I'm like, all right, I locked eyes with them. I'm gonna just jump on and surprise these guys, and I'm gonna land on the chairlift with them. Kind of not thinking, oh, if I jump onto this chair, it might knock them off, or anything like that. Not very thoughtful 16-year-old me. I drop in, like I said, in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get on this chair. So I time it, and I start riding, go down the hill, going pretty fast. I see that it's gonna work out pretty perfectly, but then I wasn't going fast enough to just land on the chair. But my natural reaction is basically the quarter pipe is built in a way next to the chairlift that you have to jump over, off the quarter pipe into this nothingness of flats to get onto the chair. So if you miss the chair, you're gonna be falling probably 15, 20 feet just to flat. So I was fully committed this time. And so I, hit the jump, was prepared to land on the flats if I didn't make it, but I was not gonna let that happen. But I didn't go fast enough. I jumped off the quarter pipe, and then I realized I'm not going fast enough. I'm not going to be able to make it onto the chair sitting down, but I could still grab it. So at that point, I'm like, I'm not gonna fall 15, 20 feet to flat. I'm grabbing onto this thing. But what happened is as soon as I grabbed onto the chair, within half a second, I'm 30 feet above the ground. Then I'm, 2 seconds later, 40 feet above the ground. 5 seconds later, 50 feet above the ground. And I'm like, guys, you need, I will literally fall so far if I don't stay on the lift. So then 10 seconds goes by. I'm trying to tell Alex, let me bring my board up. You'll see my board. I'm trying to lift my board up to the seat because I'm like, unstrap my binding, because I was trying to get my board off so that I could just climb up. But for whatever reason, I don't know if they couldn't reach down far enough, I couldn't get my feet up high enough, he couldn't unstrap my board. So finally I end up just holding on like a monkey with one arm and unstrapping one binding. But as soon as I get one binding off, my arms are fatigued, and there's like, it's probably, 15 seconds has gone by at this point, and now I'm not joking you, probably 70 feet off the ground. And I'm holding on with, you gotta think, I have snowboard boots on, full snowboard outfit on, a snowboard on, and it's, it's not just my body weight. That stuff actually weighs quite a bit when you're hanging on like that. So I'm like, guys, grab my jacket, grab something, like help me, like unstrap my other, so now I'm doing like crunches, trying to get my board up as I'm hanging. And so that's fatiguing me even more. And if you know where I'm talking about and you know this footage and you know that lift at Bear Mountain, it's quite a slow, long lift. So where that happened from the point of me jumping on to now, I'm getting really, really tired. And at this point, for whatever reason, they couldn't get me up on the lift. They're super high off the ground already, trying to pull someone up. I mean, you're leaning over off of like a 70-foot cliff, basically. It's scary. And so they basically at this point kind of just gave up on trying to help me up. And I don't blame them. I'm begging one of the Alexes, just hold on to my sweatshirt. I don't care if you're choking me, just do not let me go. Because 10, 15 seconds into this, my arms, I'm holding on, one arm like this, and the other arm just with my hand. And my muscles, when you work out super hard as you've ever worked out in your life type of a thing, and you can feel your muscles about to give out, like as much strength and as hard as you're holding on, it doesn't even matter. At a certain point, your muscles will literally fatigue to the point where they'll just give out. And I was at that point, but I'm 70 feet off the ground. And so this was late season. Sometimes there's a lot of snow where that section's not 70 feet off the ground, but at this point, I was definitely 70 feet off the ground. I'm literally looking at them with like these eyes of like begging, like, please don't let me go. Like, and he's holding onto my hood of my jacket, but it wouldn't have been enough had I fallen and given my weight. So I'm turning into this person where I'm feeling my arms just shaking, like trembling and shaking, going, you cannot fall right now, you will die. And at the same time, I'm just going into this like meditative state, like just hold on, because at this point I have a long way to go to get to the top. And so I'm just kind of curling into a meditative ball and just being like, hold on, this isn't gonna be forever, just get to the top and you'll be good. So now I have one foot unstrapped, I'm hanging and dangling and about to fall. My muscles are shaking. Right at the point, I'm probably like 50 feet off the ground and I'm like, okay, you made the final stretch, like 10 more seconds, you'll live, like you'll get off the chair. And the person running the lift at the top sees me dangling and stops the lift.
Don't stop it, keep it going. Keep it going, get him up here fast. Keep it going. Keep it going.
I didn't even know the person at the top was filming this, but one of our friends knew that I had done this, I guess, and was filming, waiting for me to arrive at the top. So you'll hear in the footage him saying, don't stop the lift, keep it going, because now, not only had I been hanging on for like a minute, just, trembling, but now I have another who knows how long, and I'm hanging 50 feet above the ground. And so at that point, I remember at the time, I was like, I have never been in a mental situation like that where I was literally like talking to my muscles. This sounds insane, but I was talking to my muscles, like just trying to be in this super, warrior mindset zone where I'm like, you cannot let go no matter what. And I'm hugging the chair, like I said. It's like, when you have a picture in your head of like, okay, you're on a road trip or whatever, and you're like, okay, I only have 2 more hours to go. That's fine. But then all of a sudden you hit traffic and there's, it's gonna be a 4-hour drive instead of that projected 2 hours. Well, now your mindset completely shifts and your expectations from the old thing go out the window, and now you have to prepare for something you were not prepared for. So in this situation, I'm like, okay, lift is moving, I'm good. I got maybe 20 seconds left until I can let go. And then the lift stops and now I'm like, I don't know how long I'll have to hang here. I could have to hang here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, but I cannot fall. And I don't think I probably would have died if I fell, but I definitely would have been really, really hurt. And so I just knew in my mind, like, you cannot let go. So finally, maybe another 20 seconds goes by, 30 seconds of me dangling. The person's getting screamed at by all these other riders, people filming, get the lift going, keep it going, like what are you doing? So finally they get the lift going again.
You're okay, hold on. No, wait. Hold on. Okay, get his arm loose.
And I'm just like, just holding on. I've never said holding on for dear life. I've never meant that more. I was literally holding on for dear life. And I finally am talking to my friend Alex on the chair, and I'm like, he's like, okay, you're good. You can let go now. And I just remember like letting go, maybe 5 feet off the ground or something.
Hold on. Okay, get his arm loose. You're good, let go.
Oh, God, nice.
And just my arms were numb, completely numb. My body was like, I never felt that depleted in my life physically. It was the craziest feeling. At that point, ski patrol was already at the top waiting for me. And so you'll see the ski patroller walk up to me and he says, unstrap your board, you're done, you're coming with me.
You're done, man. Kick off the board.
And I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even think I'm supposed to be here. I'm pretty sure I snuck on the lift. I'm out of here. So then you'll hear the filmer start talking to the ski patroller.
Hey, wait a minute. Why is he done?
As soon as the filmer and the ski patroller start interacting, the ski patroller turns his head to the filmer and I just ride away.
Hey, wait a minute. Why is he done?
You know Clayton? I gotta go down there and go talk to him. Hey, what are you doing, man?
He's gonna go to Clayton and talk to
I'm
him.
gonna go talk to him. He wants to shake you, so hold up.
No, he's gonna go talk to him.
Actually, I'm gonna take him down.
He's like, you gotta go talk to this manager and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I'll go talk to him. And then I just kind of literally snowboard away in the opposite direction as he's looking at the filmer. At that point, I just went into the woods and talked to the filmer that filmed it. And I'm like, hey, like, I'm out of here.
I got you at the top.
At that point, like I said, I'm 16. I feel pretty irresponsible not thinking that, you know, a big, massive weight coming from a side, like an outside force, hitting the chairlift could have totally derailed the chairlift and affected other people's lives. And I didn't really think about that, and I was not considerate of that at the time. So now I see that probably wasn't the best thing to do. Anyways, I guess the moral of this story is don't be an idiot. It was kind of stupid, irresponsible, it was very scary, and a stunt that I look back on that I was like, wow, that was close to getting really hurt, and I'm happy that I made it out of there. Happy I didn't affect anybody else in a bad way, and everyone was all safe and all good. So that's about it for this story. Thanks so much for watching. Much love. We'll talk to you next time.
Now what?
Oh,